everybody. Welcome to the Abbots Address. Today is Friday, November 18th, 2016. So, harmony in the sangha. Okay, harmony in the sangha. It's an absolutely critical aspect of our spiritual life and our practice. Thich Nhat Hanh has said that the next Buddha to appear will be a sangha. Kind of a nice poetic thing to say. But in fact, I think it's kind of a good pointer, see. And the most important thing for the Sangha is to have harmony in its interaction with itself and then with the world. Okay, now this is difficult. This is a tall order, okay? And one of the things that I want to be clear about is that it's very, very easy to fall into unintended back and forth stuff when we sort of create these epistles and fire them into the internet, you know. See, and it's very difficult in email or Facebook communication to have any kind of a real substantive communication of ideas. Right, it's the internet and typing and little screens and stuff. They're good for, see you at 5 kind of stuff. But really, what I think is that anything that's a little bit much beyond that, really you need voice and face and inflections and all that kind of stuff. That's one of the reasons why I do these as video broadcasts as opposed to a weekly, essay or something. I mean, I think those are great, but honestly, I feel like a lot of communication gets lost. And so I would ask for us all to remember that, especially now when there's so many triggers and so many things pushing on us and so many reasons to write epistles to the internet. Just realize that most of the misinterpretation or misunderstanding or kind of just people talking right past each other, it has to do with not having a real-time, face-to-face, heart-to-heart conversation. Okay? So be hesitant. Be hesitant. Be hesitant to jump into great big epistles about what's true or how you feel or anything like that. It's fine, but understand that most of your communication is not going to get out that way. And it's very easy for other folks to misinterpret or for us to misinterpret things, you see. So what we really need is true communication and true conversation. See, and so what I find over and over again, I mean, there's been some regrettable times when I've gotten pulled into sending email letters, epistles back and forth with different people, and it never works. It never, ever works. It can't work. The only thing it does is it produces fracturing and misunderstanding because you're not there to see how what you're saying is being received, and you're not getting all the information off the other person's presence. And most of what we communicate is not in the data of the words. It's actually in the body and in the tone and the emphasis and all of this, and all that is missed. Plus, many of us are just, kind of almost compulsively addicted to like staring at screens all the time and reading. So let's, think about it this way. What we need is communication, and what we need is conversation, and we need compassionate and wise speech, right speech, see. And so, as if you're looking at the internet like I am and looking at all these different articles and stories and different things like that, running into different opinions, just be mindful, take care of yourself in that. And really, if you get to a point with someone where you're really just like not connecting, get together. Have some coffee or see them at the temple or, if it's possible like that. There's just a whole lot of harm that can happen unintentionally And I think we face the limits of this written technology, this kind of technology. You know, if you're getting into it with someone who's over in Texas or wherever, good luck, you know. So the main thing is within our own community and within our sangha to maintain the integrity of the harmony within our sangha. And the way we do that is to show up and be willing to be in conversation in real time with each other, you see. And that already, I know, is going to be a much higher quality back and forth of ideas than throwing articles back and forth or anything like that, see. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense, see. Please take my experience and use it, you know. Be willing to make the time to get together. There's been times where, honestly, you know, I'll be doing my best to send email responses back and forth or Facebook posts or something, and it's just as aggravating the situation no matter what I say. And somehow, when we make the time to actually physically get together, it goes super well. Super well. So, you know, let's think about it that way. Particularly if you're getting into some kind of a conversation with a Sangha member, you know, and it's getting like, kind of like that kind of feeling like the rest of culture is doing right now, where there's all this battlement going on. Look, let's be a model for non-violent communication, okay? And the first step, let me suggest, is to actually be there in person first. That's the most important thing. And then let the conversation unfold and let it be where it is. And along with this, okay, be careful about allowing yourself to get kind of addicted into the heat patterns of reading epistles from people whose points of view you agree with or don't agree with, and kind of getting into this complete headspace. You know, don't forget to breathe and look up and smell the air and see the sky and physically show up, you see. So we need to de-isolate. We need to actually be together. That's what we need to do, see. So now, in line with that, this Sunday is a very special Sunday. Okay, we're having the eye-opening ceremony for the household Buddha statues for those who are members of the temple. Now, I've talked about it. We've put some information out there about the thing. And I would just like to underscore the fact, okay, that when we all get together physically in the same space, if we can, if you can't, I understand you can't, but when we can physically get together in the same space and practice, that benefits us. Okay, that benefits us because we are in the presence of the Sangha and we receive the nourishment of the practice of the Sangha. We can rest in and rely upon the practice of the community to buoy up and hold our own practice. But not only that, we have the chance to contribute to others' practice because our being there is doing the exact same thing for everyone else, you see. So we are nourished by being in the presence of other practitioners, and we are nourishing the other practitioners by being in their presence. But not only that, also, we are actualizing and realizing in that exact moment the entire lineage of the ancestors. They're all there too, in a kind of a way, see? And in a very real way, I would say, we are nourishing the ancestors' lineage, and the ancestors' lineage is nourishing us. Now that's always happening. You can say that's happening when we all individually sit as we do and do mindful whatever we do, and chanting and home liturgies and stuff like that, and working on our compassion and patience and generosity and stuff. Sure, when we're all around the space doing these different things, we're in our own zone, it's totally helpful, but it's also a little bit diffuse, okay? When we actually come together and we are all in that space together and we practice, okay? Now that becomes kind of a beacon of compassion. It becomes like a stake in the ground of kindness and of presence and of not turning away, see? And really what happens then, when we get enough of us concentrated in that space, is it starts to radiate out around us, you see. It starts to become something that can in some kind of a way potentially affect the consciousness of other folks in a different way than it does if we all just kind of sit individually in our own little spaces, which we need to do also, you see. But this business of coming together is not just nourishes you, not just you nourishing the sangha and affirming the lineage and being affirmed by the lineage and actualizing the great way, but it's also giving it away in a really powerful way. I would love to see at the weekly services at the temple, now, honestly, folks, more than ever, a beacon of truth and light and kindness and generosity that palpably radiates out in a place that desperately needs it, right? Desperately needs it. And this is feeding into the impulse to do this eye-opening ceremony with these Buddha images for the different households for Sangha members because, and I'm going to talk about this at great length Sunday morning at the class at 9:30, there's a kind of a magic that happens, you see, when everyone's altar has got that same recognition and intention and blessing. And it's going to help us all. It's going to help us to really be together and networked and make our practice stronger. And I'm hoping it'll give us even a more radiant effect to those around us. So listen, this Sunday, the class starts at 9:30. I'd love it if you could be there at 9 and help clean the space. I know it's something to ask, but I'm asking. Come at 9, clean the space, vacuum things, scrub things. Let's make it nice and shiny. Okay, we're going to do a special thing here. Let's clean the space up and get it all nice and ready and perky. And then the class will happen at 9:30, and I'm going to go into this in some great detail. Bring a notebook. You're definitely going to want a notebook for that. And bring the family Buddha image. And then the ceremony will happen at 11, and it's going to be dynamite. Okay, so be there, and we'll practice together. And if for some reason you can't be there, tune in. I'm going to try to live broadcast this thing with the Facebook like we try to do, and the temple simulcast is always there. But like I keep saying, folks, let's be in the same room together. It's critically important these days. Keep your practice strong. Don't give in to despair. Keep your practice strong. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you on Sunday.